It started 7 years ago. A dream, just a dream. My bedroom. Everything was the same. The posters on the wall, the pile of clothes on the chair, the moonlight cutting through the blinds. But it felt wrong, heavy. The air was thick like water. And at the foot of my bed, he was there, just standing, a silhouette, tall, wearing a long coat and a hat, a wide-brimmed hat that covered his face. I couldn't see his face. I never see his face. He just watched. I couldn't move, couldn't scream. I just laid there, frozen, staring at the man who wasn't there. Then I'd wake up, heart pounding, sweat-soaked sheets. The first time, I brushed it off. A bad burrito, maybe. The second time, a week later, I was annoyed. The 10th time, I was scared. The 100th time, I was used to it. He became my normal, my nightly visitor. The same dream every single time I closed my eyes. The man at the foot of my bed, watching. Always watching. But then things changed about a year ago. In the dream, he moved. Just one step closer to the bed. My blood ran cold. The rules had changed. The next night, another step. And another. Night after night. A slow, agonizing march. Closer. Closer. Until he was right beside my bed, looming over me. I could almost smell the old, damp wool of his coat. I could feel the cold radiating from him. I'd wake up gasping, clutching my chest. But the fear wasn't just in the dream anymore. It started leaking into my life. I'd see him in the corner of my eye, a tall shadow in a doorway. A man in a long coat across the street. I'd blink and he'd be gone. I started leaving the lights on, all of them. My electricity bill was insane. I didn't care. I stopped sleeping. Coffee and energy drinks became my lifeblood. I was a walking ghost. But you have to sleep eventually. And every time I did, he was there. Waiting for me, looming. Last week something broke. In the dream, he reached out, a long, pale hand, fingers like spiders. He reached for my face. I woke up screaming, a real scream, not a silent one. My hand flew to my cheek. It was cold, ice cold, like a dead man's touch. I sat up, shaking, trying to catch my breath, and I saw it. A smudge on the inside of my bedroom window, a handprint. But the fingers were too long, too thin. It wasn't my handprint. I live alone. I haven't had a visitor in months. I locked my doors. I boarded up my windows. I bought cameras, 5 of them, one for every corner of my room, all pointing at my bed. I needed to prove I wasn't crazy. I needed to see what was happening. Last night, I finally slept. Exhaustion took me. The dream started as always. My room, the heavy air, and him standing right beside me. His long fingers were inches from my face. But this time, I wasn't just scared. I was angry. In the dream, for the first time, I found my voice. "Who are you?" I whispered. The man didn't answer. He just tilted his head, a slow, sickening, cracking sound. The hat shifted. For a second, I saw what was underneath. It wasn't a face. It was a void, a patch of absolute blackness, a hole in reality. And from that darkness, I heard a sound. Not a voice, a scrape, like a nail dragging on wood. I woke up. Silence. The sun was coming up. I survived another night. I stumbled out of bed, my body aching. My first thought was the cameras. I ripped the memory cards out. I jammed the first one into my laptop. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely click the mouse. I scrolled through the footage, hour after hour of me sleeping fitfully, tossing and turning. Nothing. Second camera, nothing. Third, nothing. Fourth, nothing. I felt a crushing disappointment. Maybe I was crazy. Maybe it was all in my head. Then I put in the last card, the one from the camera in the corner with the best view of the room. I fast forwarded. 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:13 a.m. It happened. The footage glitched, a flicker of static, and then he was there. Not a dream. He was in my room, standing by my bed. A tall, dark shape, exactly like the dream. He didn't move. He just stood there. For an hour, just watching me sleep. My heart stopped. This was real. This was happening. Then I saw it. On the timeline, I zoomed in. He leaned down, his face, the black void just inches from my face. The video has no audio, but I know what I heard in the dream. The scraping. I watched the figure on the screen. He reached out, not for me. He reached for the wall behind my bed. With one long skeletal finger, he started to draw. No, not draw. He carved. He carved something into the wall. Then, as slowly as he appeared, he dissolved, like smoke. The video went back to normal. Just me, sleeping alone in my room. I couldn't breathe. I dropped the laptop. I scrambled back to my bed, my hands shaking. I looked at the wall behind my headboard, the place where he pointed. It's here. He left me a message. I'm looking at it right now. It's scratched into the plaster deeply. It wasn't here yesterday. I want to show you. The camera perspective shifts, shakily moving towards the wall behind the bed. You need to see it. You need to understand. He's not just watching me anymore. He's waiting for me. I see you are awake now too.